Hi, this is Micornus Phokane, the leader and the founder of Church Governance Solutions. I want to speak about the fact or facts that will actually indicate to you as a pastor that you have appointed the wrong leadership. I've said in the past that there are those pastors that have appointed very, very wrong leadership. And the church is stagnant right now, and it looks barren, it looks non-progressive at all, purely because of the leadership that you appointed. And I want to emphasize the fact that the church is equivalent, or the success of a church is equivalent to its leadership. Actually, the power of any church is actually dependent on its kind of leadership. Now, therefore, appointing leadership must be an astute gift and a skill from a pastor, because if you appoint willy-nilly, you're going to run into a problem. And sometimes you realize later that you have appointed wrong leadership. How do you then see that you have appointed leadership that is wrong at the end when you have already appointed them? The first thing that I want you to see is when leaders sit back and allow things to go wrong, they become spectators. They become like supporters in a soccer field. They're actually sitting on the stands and watching and looking at how things are happening, how people are doing things. They themselves are not involved. They themselves are not guarding against actually the fallout of the things in the church. Or actually, they are not actually aware that the vision of the church is crumbling. So this is very important that we look at it that way. Because leaders that are not dirtying their hands, they're not getting involved, they are not part of what is happening. And you'll see them particularly by not actually being active with anything. And when you see leaders like that, you must know that they're totally not interested. They're disconnected to the vision of the church. And that will be purely what we call wrong leadership. Now, when you have appointed people and you have actually spoken about your vision and orientated them about your vision, yet they cannot stand up and try to drive the vision with the people, you're going to see people that are wrongly appointed. Leadership that is a poor leadership that has been appointed poorly. And that is actually one way of seeing that. The second thing that you will see is leaders that will allow you to do mistakes and go behind your back and to criticize you. They will actually see that you're going to make mistakes. And they are watching you. They are waiting until you make a mistake. And when you've just made a mistake, they are the loudspeaker of it all. They are the announcers of the bad news. They are the ones who go around telling everybody. And if you hear about your mistakes being known by the church, it is coming generally from your own leadership, who are actually there, actually to watch you and wish you can make a mistake, and watch you to do a mistake, and laugh about it, and go around and spread actually the gossip about your mistakes. They don't correct. They don't correct you even when they know that you are actually bound to make a mistake. You're on the way to make a mistake. They can see it ahead. They can see it before, but they cannot warn you about it. And that is problematic. And I want to urge you that if you have people like that, fire them. These are the people that are not good enough for you, because that are wrong leadership. And that is very, very critical, that the people that you appoint, they guard against mistakes. And they make sure that when they know that here we're going to make a mistake, they voice it even in advance. They don't wait until the mistake happens and criticize. No, they are actually saying it in advance, that why don't we try it this way, because this looks like we are doing mistake. Because they are owning the process. As they own the process, as you make decisions, these are correct leaders. So the people that are not correct leaders, they will gossip about you. Now, we're also having leaders who will share confidential issues with people not in leadership. We talk about confidential issues about the pastor, about the pastor's wife or husband, sharing confidential issues about some of the members of the church, and they will spread those news. They become newspapers in the church, real newsmakers that are going around telling everybody about everything. These are the type of people that, if they are in leadership, they are not fit to become leaders. And this is very crucial, because many of the leaders are visionaries. Many of the pastors are not aware of this. And they don't even trace when confidential message has leaked. And you realize that it's actually the only people that know are the leadership. So when you see that and it's forever leaking, while you're having leadership that you talk to all the time, you tell them this is confidential, saints, and we're going to announce this in a later stage. But all of a sudden, everybody knows about it. Problematic leadership. And of course, these are wrong leadership that you've appointed. You must be careful of that, and we emphasize in this that as a church governance solutions, we advise you to be careful, because you are going to have people like that that will actually move around telling people confidential issues of other people as well. Now, the other thing is, these are leaders who are unable to sacrifice time and their resources for the vision. Leaders that are not ready to sacrifice their time. You call for prayer meeting, they're not there. You call them to come to church service, they come late, or they're not there. You organize a conference, they are not there. You organize prayer meeting and teachings, they are not there. So they're just not part of the church. Yet you call them the leaders. And this is problematic, because if you're going to continue with such leadership, you're retarding your own church. And your church will look barren, but you should actually know that it is barren because you have appointed wrong leadership. And if you keep on with this wrong leadership, you're not going to make progress at all. And this is very important. And that is why it is very key to have boldness and to have assertiveness enough to fire the people that are not part and parcel of the vision. Because if they don't buy into the vision, who should buy in the vision? Because you're not going to make the members to buy into the vision unless if your leadership buys into the vision. And that's very important. And pastors should actually take cognizance of that. And we don't many times, and we ignore it. We become naive about it. And therefore, people destroy your church while you're watching. Now, I want to also say, these are the people, the leaders, that are actually who do not set a good example in character. These are the type of people that don't live right, that don't set an example, that are having skeletons, and therefore people are watching them, and people are discrediting you as a leader. They're discrediting you as a visionary because of them. So that, become careful about it, because people that are careless about their life, then they can implicate your leadership. They discredit your leadership. They discredit the church itself. So this is very important, that you become aware that leaders that are not taking care of their character and they've got no desire to correct their character, then they are problematic completely. And you will have a problem in getting to convince the church about issues. So remember that also there are those leaders who discourage others or they discourage other people from participating in activities. There are those that don't participate themselves. And worse off, you have those that, while they don't participate, but they discourage others who participate. And I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. They'll go around and say, the pastor announced this, but it's not necessary for you to go. It's not necessary for you to participate. Why doesn't he think? Why does the pastor say we must give money, and he knows that most of us are not working? Now, you're discouraging people, because the fact that you're not working, it is you. Don't canvass it. Let others make their own decisions. Don't give other people reasons of not participating in activities of the church because you don't want to participate. We've seen leaders like that, and these are dangerous leaders. And I want to warn you, Pastor, to be careful, not to become naive about this. There are those part of your members in the leadership that are doing that, discouraging the rest of the church. And hence you see the church is not progressing. The church is like stagnant, it's like barren, it's like nothing is happening in the church. And you don't realize it's because there are people amongst your leadership that are discouraging people from participating in activities. There are leaders who oppose even progressive ideas. This type of people, they are actually discouraging people. When somebody is new in the church and this person seems to be progressive, they automatically hate the person. They automatically warn the person and tell the person, you are going to burn your hands because we've burned our hands before. You are trying this, and this we have tried in the past, it didn't work. So why do you think it will work with you? So all that are spirits that are having, that are amongst leaders, that are poor leaders, that are poorly appointed as well. And I want you to be aware of that. Because when somebody starts then to discourage even new members and tell them the bad part of the church, remember, the church is like a family. And in the church, we are not all the same. So there are those that are deviant in the church, like a family. There are those that don't have understanding. There are those that don't have wisdom. There are those that will have wisdom. There are those that will be good leaders, and different characters in the church. So you cannot now expose the bad side of the church as if the church is all that bad. So as a leader, if you do that, then you are a badly appointed leader. And so therefore, pastor, be careful of people like that are badly appointed. These are the people that are making your church to shake. They're making your church to crumble, because these are the people that spread evil things amongst even people that are new in the church. So please be able to identify those. Finally, we talk about leaders who are not prepared to dirty their hands, and they are not actually prepared to dirty their hands to develop the vision, or to develop others into serving the vision. And these are the type of people that we've spoken about, in the sense of they are not really part of the church. They sit and watch, and rather they become actual spectators in the church, and they don't want to be part of anything. These are the people, and I'm sure you've seen them, and you know them as well in your church, and these are wrongly appointed leaders. I want to end up here today, your host, Micornus Phokane, the leader and the founder of Church Governance Solutions. What a wonderful time we had, and I want to urge you as a pastor to follow this, listen to this, share this with your own leadership, share this with your own congregants, and that will help your congregation going forward. Don't forget to follow us on our Facebook page, Micornus Phokane, our Facebook page, Church Governance Solutions. So please like those pages, follow them, click notification buttons as well. Our YouTube channel is Young Men Empowerment Forum, and it's also under Micornus Phokane. We've posted a lot of videos in that regard, so please follow us there. Subscribe first, click notification button. You will be notified when we've posted material of this kind. May the good Lord bless you, as you also remember our TikTok account and follow it as well as it continues trending. The good Lord bless you, and cheers for now.